Welcome dear students to a history class of standard 10th. Today we will be doing the last part of the lesson, heritage management. In the previous class we have learnt about sources of history and their conservation. We have also learnt about famous museums, libraries and archives. In this video we will learn in detail about encyclopedia. So let's begin with the lesson. An encyclopedia is a work of reference containing a number of articles that deal with a specific topic, or else a range of subjects. Encyclopedias are distinguished from other books by a number of defining characteristics, which have drawn people to consult them in various forms for reference. Benefits of encyclopedia. People use encyclopedias to broaden their knowledge on subjects of interest. There are many subject-specific encyclopedias available on a variety of topics, including medicine, law, pop culture, history, and wildlife. These encyclopedias give more in-depth information than those with general information on thousands of topics. Readers depend on encyclopedia to enable them to find information quickly and easily. Since the encyclopedia is likely to contain many entries, especially if it is written on a range of subjects, the encyclopedia will be well organized. Typically, it will make use of an index, often at the back of the volume homepage, for readers to look up entries of interest. The encyclopedia might also be organized thematically, with each category containing a separate index. Encyclopedias represent an array of knowledge contained in one place. Since assembling this knowledge requires a large vessel, printed encyclopedias tend to be in huge volumes or even multiple separate volumes that form a whole. Any profession that requires its specialists to perform ongoing research has a subject encyclopedia. There is, for example, an encyclopedia of psychiatry, one of law and economics, and several on different aspects of medicine. If you want to learn the history of a culture, country, or era, turn to a historical encyclopedia. Uttar History Encyclopedia is one example of a specific historical encyclopedia, as is the Historical Encyclopedia of World War II. These books have essays and entries written by expert scholars. In many cases, encyclopedias are compiled by experts in a particular field who write each entry and ensure that the facts contained within are correct. For example, Hardy Trees and Shrubs, an illustrated encyclopedia, is a text with contributions by the respected horticulturist Michael A. Deere. Types of encyclopedia. Encyclopedias can be approximately divided into four types: dictionaries, Comprehensive Encyclopedia Vishwakosh, Encyclopedic Koshadrish literature, and indexes. A dictionary is a book that lists the words of a language, typically in alphabetical order, and gives their meaning or gives the equivalent words in a different language, often also providing information about pronunciation, origin, and usage. Now there are various types of dictionaries. Comprehensive dictionary, which includes all or almost every detail. Then we have dictionary that include only certain types of words. Dictionaries of terminology that deals with terms peculiar to a branch of knowledge. Etymological dictionaries. Now an etymological dictionary traces a word's development over time, giving historical examples to show changes. Thesaurus. A thesaurus is a reference work for finding synonyms and sometimes antonyms of words. They are often used by writers to help find the best word to express an idea. Dictionaries of idioms and phrases, etc. Comprehensive Dictionary, Vishwakosh. The main importance of this encyclopedia was to enrich and broaden the Marathi language and literature. There are two types of Vishwakosh. First, it includes all subjects under the sun. For example, Encyclopedia Britannica, Marathi Vishwakosh, Maharashtriya Jnanakosh, etc. Second, it includes information on one chosen subject. For example, Bharatiya Sanskriti Kosh. We also have Vyayam Kosh and many more. Encyclopedic literature, Koshadrash. Now it is similar to an encyclopedia which comprises scholarly articles providing information on all possible aspects of one or more predetermined subjects. For example, we have yearbook by Manorama, Times of India. Then we have Maharashtra Jeevan with volume 1 and 2. We have Sahar Pune with volume 1 and 2, etc. Indexes. Indexes usually occur at the end of a book. There are a few indexes published separately. Indexes are the alphabetical list of individuals, subjects, places, keywords, reference books, etc. For example, the index of Marathi periodicals prepared by S. G. Date. Indexes are also designed to help the reader find information quickly and easily. Encyclopedia and history. Encyclopedias have existed for around 2000 years and have evolved considerably. They have progressed from written form in antiquity to print in modern times. Now in mid-1700s, a pair of French writers set out to organize all human knowledge. They called their project the Encyclopédie. Denis Diderot was the driving force behind the project. The project was insanely vast and raised substantial questions that still challenge scholars today. Hardest of all was how to print the thing and not be imprisoned. Diderot's encyclopedia incorporated more than 70,000 entries including original work from Voltaire, Rousseau and other luminaries of the French Enlightenment. Louis XV and Pope Clement XIII both banned the thing, though Louis kept a copy and apparently actually did read it. Because of political and religious pressure in France, Diderot and his compatriots had to smuggle pages out of the country in order to publish them. Collecting human knowledge wasn't just an academic exercise, it was also political. On the other hand, in Japan, encyclopedic books were imported from China from an early date. In the 17th century, the Sansai Tohui, an illustrated encyclopedia of the three powers, that is heaven, earth and man, published in Ming China in 1609, entered Japan. In 1712, emulating the Sansai Tuhui, the Waka Sansai Zui, the first Japanese illustrated encyclopedia of the three powers in Japan and China, was published. Written in classical Chinese, the language of scholarship throughout East Asia at that time. The book reflected the outlook of its day with such fantastical entries as the country of the immortals and the land of the long-legged people. So, we see that encyclopedia published in various countries and in various languages may differ in their approach because of different priorities like national policies, ethical values and ideals. Also, encyclopedia can be a medium for strengthening national identity. For example, Bharatiya Sanskriti Kosh, an encyclopedia of Indian culture edited by Mahadev Shastri Joshi, one of the major drives behind the creation of encyclopedias was making knowledge in all spheres of life accessible to everybody. And so they were looked upon as outstanding achievements of a society. Encyclopedias on history related subjects. Bharatvarshiya Prachin Aitihasik Kosh is the earliest encyclopedia by Raghunath Bhaskar Godbole. It includes information about various individuals along with their complete background and places in medieval India. Then we have Maharashtriya Jnanakosh, which is the first encyclopedia in Marathi language. Sridhar Venkatesh Ketkar was the chief editor of the encyclopedia. Now this was published in 23 volumes. He had started working on the encyclopedia in 1916. He worked on it for 12 years until the work was completed in 1928. His major drive was to facilitate wider access to knowledge and to expand the intellectual sphere of Marathi-speaking people. Then we have Siddheshwar Shastri Chitrav, who established a committee known as Bharatiya Charitrakosh Mandal for establishing the encyclopedia. Bharatvarshiya Charitrakosh. This encyclopedia was published in 3 volumes, namely Bharatvarshiya Prachin Charitrakosh, which includes information on the lives of individuals mentioned in the Vedic literature, including Shruti, Smriti, Sutra, Vedanga, Upanishad, Purana, Jain and Buddhist literature. The other 2 volumes, Bharatvarshiya Madhya Yugin Charitrakosh and Bharatvarshiya Anavarchin Charitrakosh, which includes biographies of individuals in their respective periods. Thalakosh. They are encyclopedias giving geographical information about historical places. We have Sthanapoti, which is composed by Muni Vyas of Mahanubhav sect in 14th century CE, and it is known as an encyclopedic text that describes all the places visited by Chakradhar Swami, who was the founder of Mahanubhav sect. It tells us about Maharashtra in those days, and it also tells us about the life of Chakradhar Swami. Then we have Prachin Bharatiya Sthalakosh, which was composed by Siddheshwar Shastri Chitrav in 1969. It gives us information of various places mentioned in Vedic literature, Kautilya's Arthashastra, Panini's grammar, Ramayana, Mahabharata, medieval Sanskrit literature, Shabdakosh, and also in Buddhist and Jain literature, in Greek, Chinese, and Persian literature. Vishwakosh. The first Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Yashwantrao Chavan, established Maharashtra Rajya Sahitya Sanskriti Mandal. The project was to create the encyclopedia, started as a print project and was inaugurated in 1960. And Lakshman Shastri Joshi was named the first president of the project. The objective of making Vishwakosh was to develop and enhance Marathi literature and language. Marathi Vishwakosh contains knowledge about all possible subjects which exist in the world. It has important entries about history. Bharatiya Sanskriti Kosh. Mahadev Shastri Joshi edited and published 10 volumes of Bharatiya Sanskriti Kosh. These volumes contain information about Indian history, geography, various ethnic and lingual groups, local history of those groups, their festivals, and other cultural aspects. Samadhya Kosh. Samadhya Kosh is a significant and essential encyclopedia known. In this encyclopedia, systematic information is stored about the ancient history of India. It is primarily utilized by teachers of history because of its detailed explanation about different terminology of history. As it is an encyclopedia, it is pre-arranged in a proper way to access all information available or written in it. A comprehensive developmental history of every history is clarified in an easily understood manner. So, we see that encyclopedias of all types require experts in history. Students, we are done with the lesson. Hope you have understood. Now, read this part of the lesson from the text so that you understand the concepts well. I want you now to attempt the questions given in the exercise at the end of the lesson. Note that writing will help you to remember your answers well. That's all for now. Thank you.